Hookups with narcissists always feel unfulfilling, just like everything else we do with them when we really figure them out. The narcissist is afraid of intimacy. They're afraid of love. This is why eventually they have to discard you. This is why eventually they get cold and distant. It's not just the fact that the love bombing phase was used to condition you. They have learned through experience that they have to fake that part, that initial love bombing phase to get you hooked to them. It's not just that they know people want this fake intimacy. It goes even further. They can't feel the intimacy. They do not have a solid sense of identity. That's why when you hook up with them, they are more concerned about getting supply. It's about them. If it's a male narcissist, male or female, it's about them getting themselves off. It's about them worrying if they performed well. You'll see narcissists ask you if you enjoyed the experience, if you like this or that. It's like a book report to them, right? It's not like an intimate experience that they're trying to see if they did well, to see how much they got you invested in them. Where when two people have a hookup, whether it's just like a one night stand or something more intimate, like a making love and all that, it's on a different level. You actually make an emotional connection with that person. The narcissist cannot feel love. They can feel like infatuation and kind of, it's kind of puppy love kind of thing, but they can't feel actual love. Because they don't not have the ability to have empathy. And when you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes, you can't have that typical romantic love that we all seek. Now, it's debatable. Some narcissists say that they actually do love their victims, which is just, that's so counterintuitive and a whole nother topic. But I think what these self-aware narcissists are confusing is their like excitement for new supply as love. But as we all know, as like what most people will consider love is when you genuinely love and care about the other person, when you're able to put yourself in the other person's shoes, which is empathy, and actually want to emotionally connect with them, when you actually love them for who they are, not for what they can do for you. And this puts us in a really weird state of confusion. The narcissist has gotten so good at the art of deception. They have gotten so good at manipulating and pretending, and they've probably watched movies and just learned from experience of like, because that's all narcissist life is, just like finding new supply, and then they lose that new supply because they are narcissists and they can never really hold on to anything even if they want to. So they've learned how to like master their art of deception and fake love. But you always kind of knew. I feel like there are those subset of people that really got in mesh with this narcissist, and they didn't know. They didn't know that they were in a trauma bond. They didn't know that this person was just completely toxic and fake until it was too late, until it was like 10 years later, those really tragic stories. But many people say they see red flags in the beginning, but because that person is so beautiful, because they're so charming, that's the thing. Narcissists can fake it for a little bit, but there's always this, I always felt that there was something off. Like this person isn't really here, but I was so enamored with the good qualities that they put up at front that I decided to ignore my intuition. And if people would stop giving people the benefit of the doubt, especially at the beginning of relationships, I believe this would prevent a lot of heartbreak that happens with these meaningless hookups we have with narcissists. And as you know, that, the act of like coming together with someone, that is like pretty much the most intimate thing you could do with someone else. And when you find out it was all a lie, it is a very deep, hurtful betrayal. And then on top of this person starts gaslighting you and abusing you. And now you're stuck in this really weird place because it's such an intimate emotional connection that we begin to, you bond with that person when you do that act with them, when you hook up with them, that we start getting attached to someone who then they reveal their true colors. And now our body, right, our emotions and all of that, like all those deeper sides of us, it's messed up, right? You see this all the time in victims of of SA and like all those horrific things where their body is telling them one, their body is like responding in a positive way almost to something that's very obviously very negative. So now our mind and our body are at odds, and our mind is telling us this is not a good person, but for whatever messed up reason, we're still in love with them, and that can take a long time to heal. But the good thing, at least what I've seen in other people and myself, is when I go no contact, the more I distance myself from this person, when you aren't physically around someone, because that's one of the harder things. That's why people get re-traumatized, and because they run into the narcissist again, or they end up texting, they break no contact with the phone, and that kind of reactivates all those emotions. Even to this day, I could honestly tell you, if I were to see them, like, I've accepted who the narcissist is. I've accepted that this is a disordered person that's never really going to get better, and that they did all these awful things to me. I've let it go in that sense on a cognitive level. But there's a part of me, I'm not gonna lie, that if I saw them, it would just trigger all these emotions where I'm like, this is a person that I once like was so in love with and all that stuff. And it's hard, it's because you're a good person. It's hard to be mean to someone even though they've treated you like dirt. And it just goes to show how empaths and people who they're just good people. They just fell in love and gave their love to the wrong person. But I promise you, in time, it's the cheesiest thing ever. Everyone says it, but it's true. Time does heal wounds. But but when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's time plus not seeing them anymore, putting in the effort to heal and get better, right? Putting yourself out there, doing things, all those things the narcissist prevented you from doing. Go out there and do those things. And the sad truth is, the narcissist is doing this with their new supply. They've done it with past supplies. They obviously did it with us. Eventually, the mask slips, the intimacy, they withhold the intimacy, and you see it. The more you're with them, how you kiss them, it doesn't feel the same because they don't have the capacity to emotionally connect, and those are very human actions, right? Even when you hold someone's hand, you feel it. It's a bond that's it's deeper than skin deep. And the narcissist isn't capable of doing it, and that's why it feels so empty. That's why you'll never be able to get a healthy relationship out of them, because the truth of the matter is the narcissist does not even have a healthy relationship with themselves.